Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Let's go start now. WWE superstars Dominik Mysterio and Finn Balor have experienced a rocky relationship over the past several weeks. However, it appears that things are back on track between the two, as the former Universal Champion has provided a major update on the situation. Ever since GD McDonough has been absent from television due to serious injuries, Dirty Dom has been trying to recruit a new member to the Judgment Day. He even proposed to have Penta in the faction, but the idea was rejected by the Prince. Last week on Raw, the Latino Cheat's interference inadvertently cost Finn Balor the Intercontinental Championship against Braun Breaker. This even led to the 44-year-old WWE star referring to Dominik Mysterio as a snake. That being said, in a post on X/Twitter, Finn Balor acknowledged past disagreements with the former NXT North American champion, comparing their relationship to that of typical brothers. He affirmed his support for Dominik Mysterio, indicating a resolution to their issues. This reconciliation between Balor and Mysterio comes after the latest episode of Raw, where they kept their differences aside to establish dominance. The Judgment Day attacked both Penta and Braun Breaker during their IC title match. Sheamus hasn't appeared on television since he competed in the 30-man contest at the 2025 Royal Rumble. However, he returned to in-ring action at live events in Belfast and Nottingham, challenging Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. The Celtic Warrior was unsuccessful in both non-televised matches. In a recent post on Instagram, Sheamus stated he would like to have a feud with Finn Balor very shortly. It will be interesting to see if a feud between the two former WWE World Champions is in the making heading into WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas next month. In the fast-paced world of professional wrestling, feuds and alliances often shift like quicksand. A prime example of this constant fluctuation is the turbulent relationship between Finn Balor and Dominik Mysterio. Their rocky situation has been a topic of speculation among fans, with many wondering what led to their tensions and how things would eventually play out. After weeks of ambiguity, Finn Balor himself has finally stepped up to clear the air, offering fans a much-anticipated insight into the real story behind his dynamic with Dominik. ***, the backstory, ***. The friction between Balor and Dominik Mysterio can be traced back to a series of events that began when Dominik became involved with the Judgment Day. Finn Balor, as the leader of this faction, initially took Dominik under his wing, guiding him and trying to mold him into a more ruthless, calculating character. However, their relationship began to sour over time. Dominik's behavior, which ranged from erratic outbursts to attempts at asserting his own dominance, started to create cracks in the foundation of their partnership. At first, it seemed like a typical story of mentorship gone wrong, with Balor trying to rein in the younger Mysterio, but it quickly evolved into something much more complex. Dominik's growing confidence, coupled with his sense of entitlement, sparked tension. The final straw seemed to come when Dominik publicly undermined Balor in front of the Judgment Day, creating a clear fracture in their previously symbiotic relationship. This betrayal would not go unnoticed, and it set the stage for the eventual fallout. ***, Finn Balor speaks out, ***. After weeks of silence, Finn Balor has finally spoken up about his situation with Dominik Mysterio. In an exclusive interview on WWE programming, Balor expressed his frustration with the younger Mysterio, but also acknowledged the complexities of their relationship. Dominik came into the Judgment Day with a lot of promise. I saw a lot of potential in him, but somewhere along the way, he lost his focus. He started believing that he was entitled to something that wasn't his to take yet, Balor said, his words sharp and measured, reflecting a mixture of disappointment and resolve. Balor admitted that while he had initially tried to guide Dominik, it became clear that the young star had his own vision. "I'm all for growth, but growth doesn't mean disregarding the people who helped you get where you are." Balor continued, "Dominik forgot that. He thought that he could step up and take control without putting in the work, without earning respect." Dominik's struggle for independence, ***. For Dominik Mysterio, The tension was rooted in a desire for independence. From the moment he entered WWE, he was often overshadowed by the legacy of his father, Rey Mysterio, and the looming presence of Balor. Being constantly compared to his father and guided by Balor was a difficult pill to swallow for Dominik, who began to see himself as more than just a protege. "I never wanted to be someone's sidekick. I've always been my own person, and I proved that when I took on the world, including my own family," Dominik said during a WWE promo. "The Judgment Day is about strength, power, and control, and I'm not going to let anyone stand in my way. Not Balor, not anyone." In many ways, Dominik's desire for control and his rebellion against Balor was a rite of passage. For him, it was about stepping out from the shadows of his father's legacy and the confines of Balor's mentorship. But in doing so, he crossed a line that would forever alter his relationship with the faction and with Balor himself. The turning point, The real turning point in the Balor-Dominik saga came during an intense backstage encounter. After a pivotal match where Dominik acted in a manner that disrupted the faction's plans, Balor confronted him. The conversation quickly escalated, with Balor accusing Dominik of being reckless and disrespectful. Dominik, in return, accused Balor of holding him back and never truly trusting him to lead on his own. The heated exchange became public when Dominik threw down a challenge for a match against Balor, claiming it would settle things once and for all. That challenge was later accepted by Balor, setting the stage for an explosive showdown between the two. But as the weeks passed, the match never materialized. Fans and pundits alike wondered if this confrontation would be the culmination of their feud, but Balor's decision to address things in a more measured, cerebral way spoke volumes about his character. Instead of giving in to Dominik's chaos, Balor opted to take the high road and attempt to rebuild his fractured relationship with his protege. The fallout and future possibilities. Despite the harsh words and tensions, there is still the possibility of reconciliation between Balor and Dominik. In his recent interview, Finn expressed that he's open to the idea of working together again, but only under the right circumstances. If Dominik ever comes back with the right mindset, understands what respect really means, and is ready to put in the work, then I'll be willing to work with him again. But that's on him. It's his choice. Dominik, for his part, has not shown any signs of backing down. In fact, he seems more determined than ever to chart his own path, even if that means doing it without Balor's guidance. His allegiance to the Judgment Day remains intact, but it's clear that he sees himself as a future leader of the faction, potentially positioning himself as the group's face in the coming months. As for Balor, it's evident that he has no intentions of stepping aside. His leadership of the Judgment Day remains strong, and he continues to be a key player in WWE's ongoing storylines. His response to Dominik's behavior reflects his experience and wisdom, suggesting that while he's willing to forgive, he won't forget. The situation between Finn Balor and Dominik Mysterio is a prime example of the complexity of relationships in professional wrestling. It's a story of mentorship, rebellion, and the inevitable clash between those who seek control and those who wish to forge their own path. While Finn Balor has cleared the air about his rocky situation with Dominik, the future remains uncertain. Whether they reconcile or continue their feud, one thing is clear. The tension between these two stars will continue to shape the trajectory of the Judgment Day and WWE as a whole. In the end, both Balor and Dominik will have to decide if their differences are worth bridging or if they'll remain rivals forever, locked in a battle for power and respect. Regardless of the outcome, their ongoing saga will undoubtedly remain one of the most compelling stories in WWE.